Welcome back to another of my poaching tales. This is a nice one, you'll like this. It's based all around about Christmas time. There was an old gamekeeper who lived with his family in an old farmhouse surrounded with cornfields and wildlife creatures. He had a fairy tale quiet life with a lovely family of 2 children, a boy and a girl, and of course, a beautiful wife. Now, there was one problem though. He had a poacher who frequented his land, a pheasant poacher. Up until now, the poacher had the run of Jack's farmland, and despite all his attempts and efforts, Jack just couldn't catch him. That is, until one Christmas morning, Jack and his family were all, as everyone does at Christmas, celebrate the festive season with food, wine, and merry songs. The family had all gathered to settle down on Christmas night to watch the usual obligatory Christmas films on TV. We all love them. Now, on came the Christmas festive films, especially one that you all know, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Now, the old poacher was always on Jack's mind, so he was always thinking of ways to scupper this cunning country poacher. Now, as they were watching The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, all of a sudden Jack jumped up and said, "Eureka! I have it! That's it! That's how I will end this poacher's pheasant poaching days." And what had happened was, on the Wizard of Oz film, there came the part where Dorothy came across the Scarecrow on the road to see the Wizard of Oz. You all know that scene, don't we? "That's what I will do," he said. "There's an old scarecrow I put up years ago in the field. He poaches. I will simply get some old clothes of Grandad's and swap them myself, and I'll swap with that old scarecrow. I'll dress up as an old scarecrow." So, early in the springtime, Jack was good to his word, and he put his plan into action. He dressed up into his old Grandad's clothing, with the help of some old straw and twigs, with an old flour sack as a hood, with eyes cut out so he could see, an old straw hat. Then he got himself up onto that old scarecrow post and waited for that old poacher. It took a little time though to get up onto the post, but eventually he did it. And eventually the old poacher came creeping along and climbed over the fence and entered into the cornfield that was filled with pheasants feeding on the old winter corn. The old poacher put his skills into practice and soon had a bag full of pheasants. But as he was about to leave with his illegal catch of pheasants, old Jack came on cue and let out an almighty roar, just like a demented zombie he had seen on TV. And he jumped off the old scarecrow stand, waving his arms in the air and screaming and hollering like an old zombie. Now, On seeing this, the old poacher turned, looked at this zombie scarecrow running after him, and he picked up his precious catch of pheasants and started running. He bolted to the fence and with one leap cleared the fence, but dropped his bag of cachet of pheasants. And he was never to be seen again in that old cornfield. Jack and his family to this day, you can hear them roaring with laughter in the old farmhouse every Christmas, watching that old film, The Wizard of Oz. And instead of a turkey, they now have a beautiful roasted pheasant, just to remind them of that day. What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll give you another one soon. But remember, Wizard of Oz film, when you watch it at the Christmas time, remember old Jack and the poacher, and how he scared him away dressed as an old scarecrow.